Welcome to 24K Life Podcast. I am Derick Gant.
Derick Gant.
And we are here to bring you information, insights, mental hacks, physical hacks, money hacks, investment hacks, all the hacks. Huh?
Let's get it going.
Let's get it going. So today we're talking about investing. We want to talk about how you can start investing exactly where you are. Now, of course, if you're underwater, meaning you have more month than money, then you shouldn't be worried about investing.
Baby steps.
Baby steps, right? But you should still listen, still watch so that you know what to prepare for so that you can then start and begin to invest. Now, the reason why people invest is only one reason.
Make money.
To make more money,
Come on, man.
right? So when you're investing, what you're doing is you are duplicating your ability to create more income, cash flow, and net worth. So, there's tons and tons of ways to invest. And so what we want to do is not worry about that, right? I mean, there's thousands and thousands of ways to do it. What we want to talk about is how do you actually get started. So in order to really kind of follow along, we're going to talk about it from my position, my point of view. And we're going to talk about it from Devin's point of view. And there is exactly 30 years between our points of view.
Wow.
I don't say wow. Why you say wow? Why you look at me and say wow?
It's like the Kevin Hart. Damn.
Come on, man.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's all good. It's all good. So, I also have 30 years, the same 30 years, of being a registered investment advisor. So we're going to put the disclaimer out there right now. Listen, I am not going to give you any specific investment advice. We are not going to say you should buy this or you should sell that if you own it. You might hear me say don't get into crypto, but that is a classification all into itself. And it's not because you shouldn't get into crypto. It's just because if you've never invested, that's not the spot to start with. So let's get into it and let's talk about how to get started. So when you want to invest, the misnomer is that you need tons and tons of money to do it. What you really need is to have more money than month. You need to have a savings or stash of cash somewhere. I would say to the tune of at least $1,000. I prefer you to have $10,000 saved up, put away. Dev has $10,000 put up, saved, and then he started investing after he hit that marker years ago. So the first place to start is to understand where you are with your personal finances. So we're going to assume you have a budget. We're going to assume you got a spending plan, that you already started to look at real estate as a homeowner. Those are all the great first investments. You've started putting money in your 401k plan, great first investment. And you've passed that. Now you want to get into the big boys game. Whatever that song is, Philibamba or whatever, right? You want to play with the big boys. So, playing with the big boys is not as complicated as it may seem. You might get notifications. Have you ever gotten a notification from someone saying, hey, I want to teach you how to do Forex trading?
Yes.
All the time. And, people say, well, I want to go and day trade. Well, most people have to work. So if you're day trading, you don't have time to watch. You don't have time to do it. You don't have time to watch. By the time you learn the strategy, practice, because you have to learn it, then you practice it with paper money, paper trades, then you actually use real money. And you got to use a lot of money because you're in and out of the market. We won't even talk about that. Let's just suffice to say, day trading is not the place to start as your initial entry into investment. Neither is crypto. Both of those are later.
So what if you have the time?
What if you have the time? If you have the time and you've never invested before, most likely you don't have the money.
So what about one of those, like, when they hit you up, they say, hey, you can start learning how to do it for the free. And then as you go on, you start investing yourself.
Right. So what they're teaching you to do is they're teaching you to trade on volume.
Right.
Okay? They're not teaching you to trade on value. So when we get into it, we're going to talk about value investing, meaning I'm going to buy Coca-Cola, and we know Coca-Cola is valuable because it pays a dividend. It has, a 100-year track record that you can follow, and you're not just trading on if it goes up 2 cents or down 2 cents. it's got some real worth there. There's properties, there's assets, there's work there. So again, if you're just getting started in your learning curve, I don't suggest that you start with day trading because you're not learning anything. And as soon as you don't have time to day trade, you're out the game.
Right.
So, and most people lose. I mean, that is a losing game. I mean, literally, well over 80% of people lose their money. Okay? So the money in day trading, the reason why you're getting all these Instagram requests and Facebook requests, and I don't know if you get them on TikTok or Snapchat, but the reason why you're getting all these requests is because you have to sign up for the class.
Right.
So you have to pay to get started, and that premium that you're paying to get started, that person is asking you to start is getting a commission.
Yep.
So the more people they get, the bigger the commission they get. You get 100 people to sign up in a week. Bless you.
Excuse me.
You get 100 people. You get COVID?
No.
Come on, man.
Well, my immune system high.
Come on, man.
I already had it. I got the what's it called?
We're gonna talk about that next time. Make sure your COVID is right. But anyway,
the form right. You see the form?
I saw the form, man. But our plan is gonna die. So the thing is that how do you get started? First of all, you make sure you have some money. The second thing is that I would suggest to you to take a look at the things that you have in your life that you love. Do you love, wearing Timberland boots? Do you love Timberland? Do you love a specific type of designer? Do you love, certain chocolates, Hershey chocolates? The things that you really like that are publicly traded, that you've always been attracted to. And then take a look at your circle and see, hey, are all my girlfriends attracted to this? Maybe it's a hair care company. Are they all attracted to this makeup line? Is this new, improved makeup? Is this killing the game? And there's no way it's going to stop because it's amazing. And is that a publicly traded company? So find the things that you personally like, because now you're interested and you're going to understand if you're interested, it's going to be something that you're willing to watch. Okay, so you're going to find something, you're going to make that list up. So maybe you have 4 or 5 things in your life that you really like. Even gasoline, like I don't like BP gasoline. It's nothing against BP today, but when I was your age and I got BP and put it in my car, it screwed up my engine.
Okay.
So I have never used BP since, right? So maybe you like Amoco, or maybe you like Sunoco or Shell, and you use that gas. That's a perfect one to look at. Find that company, find the stock price, and start watching it. Take a look at the 52-week high and low. Take a look and see what the return has been over the last 12 months, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and start to educate yourself just at that level so that you can see what it's done. It'll give you a really good feeling. If I put 10 grand in this investment, will I lose it, or what's the chances that it'll go up? Because there's no guarantees. If you put 1,000 in there, and we'll talk about how to get it. So that's the first thing, make your list up. The second thing is that you're going to need an account. So where do you get a trading account? You can get one online. Where'd you get yours from?
I got mine. It was actually gifted to me, and I just used the same one through my brokerage.
Okay.
So they already set mine up.
Okay.
And I just keep flowing through that.
So his brokerage company at work, because he's a real estate agent, had an account. They also offered the investing, so you just set it up through that.
Yes.
Okay. So, but you can go online. You can do Robinhood. You can do Robinhood. Acorn. You can do Venmo. You can do Cash App. You can do Charles Schwab. You can go to a bank. If you want to go to your local bank and they have investment professionals there, you can come to an independent professional. I'm an independent professional. Now, let's talk about that. If you come to me, you're going to need $100,000 plus for me to give you advice, okay? Because that's what we do. If you're going to go to the bank, most likely they're going to want, between $500 and $1,000. If you go to Robinhood, Ameritrade, E-Trade, some of these things online, you can open up with as little as $100, and then you can put money in every month. But of course, you can't buy a whole lot with $100, so it just depends. So that's why I said you don't have to wait until you have this huge sum of money to start investing. You can do it relatively soon, but find a place that you feel comfortable. You can Google, hey, what do new starters, investment starters, go to invest or open up a brokerage account? And you can do that. Robinhood started adding thousands of accounts last year. Remember, AMC was going through the roof, and Robinhood was making recommendations.
Get some of this.
And so people wanted the AMC, so they got the Robinhood. They also wanted the crypto. So you can do it that way.
I do have a Robinhood account, but I always wanted an Acorns account. I have PNC Bank, and they don't tie with PNC.
Okay.
So would you say you should get an Acorns account and put those extra pennies and quarters?
Yeah,
and
I mean,
cents
it's for people that aren't disciplined.
Right.
If you're disciplined, if you've been following us, if you haven't been following us, you can go to DerickGant.com or you can go to DevinGant.com.
Absolutely.
And you can follow us, and we have all the videos. You can go to DerickOnDemand.com, and we have a whole course on the money management, on getting out of debt, fixing your credit. Devin has a whole program on how to get your first home and position yourself. So if you haven't been following us, then that's where you need to start there. But otherwise, if you have the discipline, then you don't need that. It's a great idea, but you don't really need it if you have the discipline. Okay. But it's a great thing for people most people aren't disciplined. So it's a great thing. I'm for it for most people. But I'm not for having like 2 or 3 investment accounts. You need one. Okay. Now you might use a couple different bank accounts for different things, but you need one investment account. You need to be able to pull that thing up and look at it and have a clear understanding versus learning 3, 4 different platforms. Just want to learn one to get out of the gate when you're starting.
I remember when you found out I had 2 different accounts and made me merge them.
Right. Yep. Yeah. So let's talk about when you actually you get your account open. What are you going to need when you open the account? Don't get gun shy. They want all of your stuff. Social Security number. They want to know where you bank because the money, depending on where you do it, they're going to come from that bank. They're going to want to know your Social Security number. They want to know if you owe Uncle Sam any money. They want to know your name, your address. They want all the personal data. Be prepared to give it all. They're not going to leave anything out. Uncle Sam wants to know how much money you're making so he can get his tax money when you make it. Because you're going to make a lot. I'm just predicting that for you. It's just a prediction. So you're going to be prepared to give all that information. You can't leave anything behind. So they're going to want to know your investment experience, your taxpayer status, the state that you live in, your driver's license number. Just be prepared to give them all that information because they like I said, they want it all. Now, so let's say that you've opened the account. Let's say that you've been tracking some positions. And let's say that you take my advice and you say, I really like this gasoline. I've done my homework and I want to buy oil stock in this company. So understand that when you buy a company, so let's say you buy Coca-Cola or you buy Sunoco, or oil company, you are now a owner. You own part of that company. So if you buy Coca-Cola stock and I see you drinking Pepsi, I'm wondering why you're betting against yourself. And you're not even betting. You are actively doing yourself harm.
Absolutely.
Because there are profits for everything that you're doing in Coca-Cola. There's no profits in Pepsi if you own Coca-Cola. Now, if you don't own any soft drink companies, then drink whatever you want. But if you're buying water, I make sure I buy Coca-Cola water.
Is that Dasani?
I don't remember.
It's one of them.
I honestly buy Kirkland water from Costco, but I'm just saying, right? But if I'm going to buy water, I'm going to make sure it's not one of those two or some of my company, right? Or I'll drink Fiji.
You're not going to get it from the competition.
I'm not buying from the competition,
right?
Okay. If you are, a Hershey's chocolate person, then or you're a Godiva person, I'm not buying Hershey chocolates. I'm going out of my way to buy Godiva.
Right.
Out of my way.
Because it's going to come back to you eventually.
Because you're an owner. That's like saying I own a gym, but I'm going to go over to Gold's to work out, and I'm going to pay them a membership fee. Makes no sense. So start thinking about this. Start thinking about it. When you become an owner, you start looking at things totally different. Give you an example. Let's say, for instance, that, it's happened in the past. I own a pharmaceutical company, one your mom worked for, and they did a massive layoff. Okay? Now, your mom survived the cut.
Right.
Thank God. Right? But they laid off tons of people. And I was in the corner going, yes. Right? And people are like, what the hell is wrong with you? I'm like, I'm making more money. They're paying less people.
Oh, my goodness.
They're paying less people. Right? They're saving more money. My profit margin just went through the roof. Why do you think they do it? Why do you think they do it?
Right.
They don't do it because they don't need the people. They do it because they need to prove to their stockholders that they're responsible and they can figure out how to make the price go up. So if they don't sell enough pharmaceuticals, they'll cut staff.
Right.
Right? Now, of course, it's human capital. Of course, I wasn't like super happy that all those people lost their jobs and changed their lives, but net, it was a win.
Right.
Your mom didn't lose her job, and our stock went up. I mean, it's a tough call, but it is a call, right? So I'm not advocating celebrating people losing their jobs. I'm not. I'm just telling you, you have to look at things differently, right? When they send out an annual report and it's this thin, you're like, yeah, they save printing costs. They didn't waste a bunch of money. Because some companies send out, they send out an annual report and it's this thick. You're like, what are they printing this on glossy paper for? Right? How much money did they waste printing all that, sending it out for people who aren't going to read it? Put it online for free with no paper at all.
So what are the things, if you can, off the top of your head, like just some of the cliff notes that you should be looking at while you go through an annual report? Because, everything's electronic now. So I'm just looking on my email like, what the hell am I going to do with this?
Yeah, nothing. Don't look at it.
Nothing.
It means nothing to you.
Okay.
Right? If you're reading an annual report, it's because not only are you a buyer or a stock owner, you are trying to become a major stockholder. You're reading the fine print because you want to buy a nice chunk, like millions of that company.
Gotcha.
Because everything you need to know is in the market watch. Okay, it's in the trade sheets. So you can look and say, hey, what were their sales? So let me answer your question. You can look at the sales. How were sales this year over last year? Were sales up? How were bonuses? How's inventory? So you can look at certain things and say, are they still doing as well as they were? Are they doing better than they were? Where do they stand in the marketplace? What's the competition doing? Did they lose ground? Did they gain ground? You can look at employee satisfaction. You want people to be happy. You don't want them disgruntled because it affects the price of the company. So there are things you can look at. Technically, to be honest with you, you can get everything you need offline. Looking at the trading, the 52 weeks, the 5-year, the 10-year. You can look at the daily numbers, and you can see. You can Google and just pull up with their quick fact sheet. So they'll give you, the analyst on the reports will give you a quick fact summary of what's going on. Okay. Good question though. So what if all this is too complicated for you and you still want to invest? I would suggest that you take a look at mutual funds, which is a grouping of funds, or what would they call an exchange traded fund, which is also a grouping of funds. It just is based on an index, so it's based on all pharmaceutical companies or all automotive companies. So you're not going to buy just Sunoco or Shell. You're going to buy all of them in this one fund, and you get, if the industry goes up, your money goes up. If the industry goes down, your money goes down. So you can kind of pick that way.
So does index mean industry?
Industry.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Or it can mean the index, like the S&P 500 index is a group of the 500 largest companies in America.
Right.
So you can buy into that group.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds like you can't lose.
Well, you can lose if we have a market correction, or if we have a recession, or we had a real estate bust in 2007, 2008. Right. You can lose.
Okay.
It's not a fool's proof game, but you can have a good year. The question that the statement you just made, well, no lose, is a good lead into my next thing that you need to know from a startup position. Any money that you put into an investment, you have to be willing to leave it there 3 to 5 years.
Ooh.
So you don't put any money in that you think you need to live on for 3 to 5 years. I'm sorry?
No quick bucks.
No, because it's a market cycle. A market cycle is 3 to 5 years. And the theory is, and the actual results are, most likely you're going to have one bad year out of 3 years, and you're going to have 2 good years. Or out of 5 years, you're going to have 1.5 to 2 bad years and 3 good years. You need those 3 years to make up for and surpass the 1 or 2 bad years. Right? So if you put money in, guaranteed that it's going to be a bad year if you need to pull it out. As soon as you need to pull it out, it's going to be a bad time to pull it out. Right? It's just the way life works. So you want to be able to leave it in for 3 to 5 years. Now you can move it, but you want to be able to say, I really plan on holding this 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
Okay? So that's something that you need to be aware of. But we were talking about complications. If it's too complicated for you, buy a fund. You can buy a fund with $25 a month. Every month, you can just set it up to come out of your bank account into this every month, or $100 a month every month, and it does add up. I had a guy doing $100 a month. 25 years ago, the guy's got $250,000 in accounts. Now he's increased it since then, but it adds up really fast if you do it. So you can be very, very successful dollar cost averaging. We're not going to explain all these terms, but you can Google them, or you can reach out to info@derickgant.com, and we'd be happy to send you a little cheat sheet. So what do you think, and I'll tell you what I think, but what do you think people your age could be doing or should be doing when it comes to investing?
Staying away from crypto is one thing.
Okay.
Unless they've done the research, and even then, it's so open that a lot of people are just diving in to make that quick buck, like you said.
Right.
And they're not putting in crypto to stay 3 to 5 years.
Right.
I've always thought the most sturdy thing was real estate.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm in real estate in the first place.
Right.
And that's because you can start with little to no cash, especially if your credit's good.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you can have zero down on a down payment.
You can do zero down now?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, and it depends what you're through. If you work in the military, people just think that they get free schooling. No, you can buy an investment property that's residential,
right,
up to 4 units,
right,
and you put zero down on it.
So what somebody, let's just say 30 and under,
mm-hmm,
and single. 30 and under, single. What should be their first investment real estate purchase?
Okay, so I was talking to my friend about this yesterday, actually.
Okay.
And I told him, I said, hey, I would get a duplex. He's
okay,
moving to Columbus. So I would get a duplex. You have the credit. I already know you do. You have a great salary.
Okay.
So your debt to income ratio is going to be good. You make more money a month.
Mm-hmm.
You have more money than month. And I said, I would buy a duplex. You already have a friend out there who's renting.
Mm-hmm.
Put him on the other side of that duplex. Allow him to pay off your mortgage. In 2 years, you're going to be allowed to go anywhere you want and have the same mortgage number. And I mean, you can put somebody else in there, and now it's an investment property.
Excellent.
So you got 2 years of free living, and after you're gone, because he plans to move, that's an investment property.
So, as we already talked about, I got 30 years experience in this, and that is exactly what he should do. He should buy a duplex, a triplex, a fourplex, whatever he can afford, live in 1 unit, manage it, and when he can, move out and put somebody else in there and let those people pay for that property. So that is a great piece of advice for young people. You older people, I would suggest to you to max out your 401k, have $10,000 to $100,000 of cash, and that's a huge range. I just got off the phone with some young lady who's been a client of mine forever. She's got $128,000 in cash in the bank. And I told her she's old enough to use the catch-up provision in her 401k plan. Use that. Use it. It's great money. It's a great way to put more money away, pay less taxes right now, and build your net worth, build your portfolio. So if you have any questions, make sure you reach out to us. We are excited to help you. It's what we do. Mm-hmm. We are available for a consultation. And then, of course, if you want to structure a plan, we're happy to do that with you. I'm Derick Gant. I want you to be your best, bring your best, leave nothing to chance.
I'm Devin Gant. As always, devingant.com. You can contact me. I'm on all social medias on Devin J. Gant. And no matter where you are, I have that masterclass ready. It's the pre-approval plan on udemy.com.